Chris was an adventurous traveler who loved exploring new places. He often relied on Airbnb to find unique and affordable accommodations during his trips. One day, while planning his next adventure, he stumbled upon a mysterious listing on the Airbnb website. The description boasted of a charming cottage nestled deep in the woods, promising a serene and secluded getaway. Intrigued, Chris decided to book it for his upcoming vacation. Upon arriving at the cottage, Chris was immediately captivated by its rustic charm. The surrounding forest enveloped the property, creating an atmosphere of tranquility. However, as the days went by, Chris began to notice strange occurrences. It started with small, subtle things: a misplaced item, a creaking floorboard, or a sudden gust of wind indoors. One night, as Chris lay in bed, he heard a faint whisper echoing through the cottage. He dismissed it as his imagination, but the whispering continued, growing louder and more distinct with each passing moment. It seemed to be coming from behind the cottage's locked door that led to the basement. Curiosity got the better of Chris, and he decided to investigate the source of the whispers. With trembling hands, he unlocked the basement door and descended into the darkness. The whispers grew louder, filling the air with an eerie presence. As Chris reached the bottom of the stairs, he was greeted by a sight that sent chills down his spine. The basement was filled with photographs, thousands of them, displayed on the walls. Each photo depicted a different guest who had stayed at the cottage, frozen in various states of fear and distress. Some photos showed terrified expressions, while others captured desperate attempts to escape. Chris felt a wave of horror wash over him, realizing that he too had been unknowingly captured in one of these photographs. Determined to unravel the mystery behind the photographs, Chris delved deeper into researching the history of the cottage. He discovered that the cottage had once been owned by a notorious serial killer who lured unsuspecting travelers to their demise. The whispers he had heard were the echoes of their tortured souls, trapped within the walls of the cottage. Chris knew he had to escape this sinister place, but the more he tried, the stronger its grip became. Doors slammed shut, windows refused to open, and the forest outside seemed impenetrable, as if guarding the secrets within. The cottage had become a labyrinth of terror, and Chris was trapped in its grip. Desperate for help, Chris reached out to the Airbnb customer support, but his messages went unanswered. It seemed as though the cottage had disappeared from their database, leaving him alone in his nightmare. With each passing day, the whispers grew louder, the photographs multiplied, and Chris's sanity teetered on the edge. As Chris's desperation grew, he stumbled upon a local historian who had knowledge of the cottage's dark past. The historian revealed that the serial killer had been captured and executed, but his malevolent spirit lingered, haunting anyone who dared to enter the cottage. Armed with this information, Chris sought the help of a renowned paranormal investigator, Emma, who specialized in dealing with restless spirits. Emma arrived at the cottage, equipped with her tools and an unwavering determination to free Chris from the clutches of the malevolent entity. Together, Chris and Emma conducted a series of intense rituals to confront the spirit and break its hold over the cottage. They performed cleansing ceremonies, recited ancient incantations, and employed various paranormal techniques. Each attempt only seemed to anger the spirit further, intensifying its malicious presence. Days turned into weeks as Chris and Emma tirelessly fought against the relentless spirit. Finally, on a stormy night, they managed to weaken its hold, creating a small window of opportunity for escape. With a burst of courage, they ran through the dark forest, pursued by the vengeful spirit. The spirit's presence faded as they reached the edge of the forest, and the air cleared around them. Chris and Emma collapsed onto the ground, physically and mentally drained, but victorious in their battle against the supernatural. In the aftermath, Chris learned that the cottage had been delisted from Airbnb due to numerous reports of unexplained phenomena and disappearances. The company had decided to distance itself from the haunted property, erasing all traces of its existence from their platform. Chris vowed never to use Airbnb again, realizing the dangers that could lurk behind seemingly innocent listings. He became an advocate for traveler safety, sharing his harrowing experience to raise awareness and caution others about the hidden risks that can accompany their adventures. As for Emma, she continued her work, helping others trapped in similar supernatural predicaments. She remained haunted by the memory of the cottage and the evil it contained, fueling her determination to protect innocent souls from falling victim to the dark forces that lurk in the shadows. And so, Chris and Emma's paths diverge, forever bound by their shared experience at the haunted Erm cottage. Chris moved on with his life, forever changed by the ordeal, while Emma ventured into the unknown, prepared to face any darkness that crossed her path. The cottage, now left abandoned, stood as a chilling reminder of the horrors it had witnessed. Its walls held the secrets of the tormented souls who had fallen victim to its sinister allure, a reminder that not all Airbnb listings are as they seem. Jen was an adventurous traveler who loved exploring new places. When she planned her next vacation, she decided to try something different and book an Airbnb for her stay. She had heard great things about unique and affordable accommodations available through the platform, and she was excited to experience it firsthand. As Jen scrolled through the Airbnb listings in her chosen destination, she came across a peculiar one that immediately caught her attention. The photos showed an old Victorian house with an eerie charm. The listing was titled, "The Enigma House." A dark history. Jen's curiosity got the best of her, and despite the warning signs, she couldn't resist booking it. A few weeks later, Jen arrived at the Enigma House. It was nestled in a remote part of town, surrounded by dense woods that added to its mystique. The host, Mr. Lancaster, greeted her warmly, but with a hint of secrecy in his eyes. He handed her the keys and told her to make herself at home. Jen noticed peculiar details as she settled in. The air in the house felt heavy, and the creaking floors and flickering lights gave her an unsettling feeling. Nevertheless, she shrugged it off, attributing it to the house's age. On her first night, Jen couldn't shake off a sense of unease. The atmosphere in the Enigma House felt oppressive, as if secrets were hidden in its walls. She decided to do some research and discovered a shocking truth. The house had been previously rented by a notorious serial killer. The news sent shivers down her spine. Questions raced through her mind. Had she unknowingly stepped into a dark and sinister place? What horrors had occurred within these walls? Determined to uncover the truth, Jen began investigating the Enigma House's history. She visited the local library, searching for any information on the previous occupants. Newspaper clippings revealed a chilling tale of disappearances and unsolved murders that had haunted the community years ago. Jen's curiosity grew into a mission to expose the truth behind the Enigma House and its connection to the serial killer. She reached out to local authorities and even contacted the families of the victims, hoping to piece together the missing puzzle. Jen's relentless pursuit of the truth led her down a dark and twisted path. She discovered that the Enigma House had indeed been rented by a serial killer named Richard Simmons, who had lured unsuspecting guests to their deaths within its walls. Digging deeper, Jen found chilling evidence that pointed to a series of hidden rooms and secret compartments in the house. It became clear that Simmons had used the Enigma House as a hunting ground, a place where he could carry out his heinous acts undetected. As Jen delved further into the investigation, she began receiving anonymous messages, warning her to stop her inquiries. Threats were left on her doorstep, and she felt a constant sense of being watched. Undeterred by the danger, she pressed on, determined to bring justice to the victims and expose the dark secrets of the Enigma House. With the help of a dedicated detective who believed in her cause, Jen uncovered a network of accomplices who had aided Simmons in his sinister activities. She pieced together the chilling details of his crimes and the twisted rituals he performed within the house. The more Jen learned, the more she realized that the Enigma House was a place of unspeakable horror. It had become a chilling reminder that evil could lurk behind even the most unsuspecting facades. Driven by her quest for justice, Jen collected evidence and testimonies from survivors and witnesses. The pieces began to fall into place, and she knew it was time to bring everything to light. In a tense and dramatic confrontation, the truth of the Enigma house was exposed to the world. Simmons and his accomplices were apprehended, and the house was marked as a site of unspeakable crimes. As the investigation concluded, Jen finally felt a sense of closure. The Enigma house would forever be remembered as a haunting symbol of the darkness that can reside within seemingly ordinary places. The victims received the recognition and justice they deserved, and Jen's determination had played a significant role in bringing their stories to light. Jen, forever changed by her harrowing experience, continued to advocate for the victims and work towards raising awareness about the dangers that could lurk within the shadows. Her bravery and perseverance became an inspiration to others, reminding them to remain vigilant and question the secrets hidden beneath the surface. The Enigma house, now vacant and tainted by its dark past, stood as a solemn reminder of the horrors that had unfolded within its walls. And though its story was one of tragedy, it served as a reminder to never underestimate the power of curiosity, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of unmasking the darkness that may lie hidden in plain sight.